Welcome to
As
part
a female
two
wrestler, I've wrestled both
about
men
the
and women.
transgender.
I
Come
can
on,
attest
stop,
to the
damn it. Sorry, technology. Welcome to part two of transgender females wrestling in full female um stuff. In female athletes in general. So I posted that on Facebook. If you guys go to my Facebook channel, you can find it. But the whole video um is an interesting concept. But also on that note, I don't want to sound like I'm exceptionally biased because I do believe that everybody has their right to whatever it is they're going to do with that. But I will say that, in all honesty, I do believe that transgender women do have the right to have a fair opportunity to compete. But, and I stress this but because I'm not trying to insult anybody in the LGBTQ alphabet squad community, that they honestly should have a league of their own. Alright? I'm not trying to be a dick about this shit, but if they have their own league where it's transgender females fighting transgender females, it's fair, you know, because then, I'm sure they'll get watches. Don't worry. People love, it doesn't matter what your gender is, people love seeing people brutally beat the crap out of other people. That's just a fact. That's why sports entertainment and boxing and shit's not going anywhere for the next few years anyway. While I'm still alive, it'll still be here, you know. But the whole point, is that I'm gonna be honest with you on a lot of stuff when it comes to gender. All right. So let's say, for instance, I'm the size of the average Vietnamese woman. I'm 5'3", about a buck 20. All right. There are some women bigger than me. There are some women smaller than me. There are some men definitely bigger than me. I haven't met too many men, if any, that are smaller than me. I am beneath average size of the average man. However, that does not make me any less dangerous. Now, unlike everyone else that I know, I do have a background in fighting. You will never fucking know about it because cameras and shit didn't happen to be in my neighborhood. Nobody had cell phones to record people fighting and shit way back in the 80s, late 70s, in the 90s in the projects. We didn't have any of that shit. Black people were just poor as dirt, and the poor white people that lived there was just as poor as we were, if not poorer. So, all of my accomplishments, no one knows except for the people that I've beaten and the shit that I've told you. So you can take that like this, or you can take it like this. You can take it with a grain of salt. It doesn't really matter because there's no tangible proof of what I say is true or untrue. And like I said, no one's going to come up on my show and say, remember that time did you beat my ass? No one's going to do that because no one wants to be humiliated. And I'm not in the business of humiliating anybody. Alright? I don't do that because I have been bullied and humiliated all my life. And it would make me no better than the jerks that did that shit to me to bully and humiliate people who I have had battles with and have won. Alright, you just gotta take my word for it. That's pretty much it. Or we can have an illegal sanctioned fight and we'll just see what happens. I'm old and out of shape, but that does not mean I can't still roll with the best of you young people. Bottom line, when you come into this world with whatever God decides you're going to be, whether you are a boy or a girl, that's what you are until you hit 18, when you have the right and the money to change your gender. Alright? Now, there are some people born with gender dysmorphia, they're born with a disease where they have a woman's brain and a male's body. Alright? Now, these young people go through a whole bunch of changes in life, and the best person who can probably explain that to you would be the girl that I follow called I Am Jazz. Alright? Go check her out. She can explain that whole doohickey. There are other famous transgender people that can probably explain it. There are doctors who can explain it. I am not a doctor. I can't explain shit. Hell, I can barely pronounce it. But I will say this, the whole kick behind it is that, if you're not in that category of life, you can't really explain. I'm a straight man, so explaining that shit's like above my pay grade. But the young wrestler lady was making valid points. That would be like me going against Ronda Rousey. Ronda's bigger, Ronda's stronger, Ronda's probably tougher. I'm also old as dirt. I also would not fight Ronda Rousey because I'm a man and I don't want to get my ass kicked by Ronda Rousey. Not saying that she can. It's just the point that, there's a respect level there. Men of my generation, we did not fight girls. Period. We, Generation X men, we did not fight girls unless you were in an abusive relationship. We didn't put our hands on girls. We weren't taught to do that. Okay, I was not taught to do that. Now, the only way I would ever fight a woman is if it's in the movie script. If I'm in the movie script, my original Fallen Dragons movie, I was supposed to take on a woman who could do everything I could do. The problem with casting was I couldn't put people in danger when I can't pay your hospital bill. If I could find a woman who could do half the shit I could do, that movie would have been great. I'm still going to find that movie and post it up. But at the same time, I wanted to find a woman who could probably go toe-to-toe with me and actually know martial arts and not get hurt. Closest I had was the Bowie sisters. The one girl that I did try, she was interested, but then she flaked out on me, and that was a white broad who I was like, I'm more than willing to let you do it, but there's no payment here, and if you spring off that wall and roll an ankle or break your leg, I can't pay for your hospital bill. And she's like, yeah, I get that, I can do that. I was like, yeah, if you're over willing to do the shit that I can do, either you're like my evil twin doppelganger from another dimension, or you're just fucking nuts, because I used to do some crazy off-the-wall motherfucking comic book shit when I was younger. Back to the story at hand. I don't think that transgender women should fight regular women. Simple as that. Because like the wrestler said in my other video, they're naturally stronger, they're bigger, and they sometimes are more physically conditioned. Now, I'm on the fence on that. Alright, I will say on that physical condition shit, I don't think your gender has anything to do with that. Your skill level and your conditioning is mostly mental. Alright? I have been training since I was 7 years old. I've been street fighting since I was 6. I say this in every video. Your mental condition is more important than your physical condition. And most of your mental condition exceeds your physical conditions. Your mental conditioning exceeds your physical limitations. And if you have a mental limitation, you will have physical limitations, unless you literally are born like without limbs, or unless you're like your comprehension or something is really messed up. And some people comprehend things better physically than mentally, and some people comprehend things better mentally than physically. Athletes, on the other hand, I don't consider myself an athlete, but at one time I did, because I always consider martial artists and wrestlers to be the more superior athlete than basketball players and football players and shit like that. And there's a reason for that. Alright, I will make a whole nother video about that. But the reason that I don't think that transgender women should fight normal women is just because their bodies are like mine. When you work out as a man and your testosterone is constantly flowing through your body, where women don't have that much testosterone, if any at all. Outside of the women that take testosterone to do weightlifting and shit like that, women are not naturally full of testosterone. Every now and again you get a mutant or a unicorn that may grow a chin hair here or there or whatever, but that's not from the testosterone shots, that's just genetic. But most of the time, most natural women barely grow any hair other than in the private spots and under the arms, And every now and again you may get one loose hair on the boob or whatever. But it happens. Doesn't make you a freak or anything. It just means you got a little bit more extra in your fluids than most people have. And 9 times out of 10, in your private life, no one's gonna know if you have a hairy nipple or not unless you tell them. But for men, I shave my chest hair regularly. I hate chest hair. Hell, I hate pubic hair. So everything from here down is gone. Open season. But the thing is, on these battles, when Joe Rogan spoke about the Fallon Fox person, I think that was their name, he mentioned how that person devastated and demolished these women who thought they were fighting other women. And he had a strength advantage over these women, which basically says, instead of roiding up, he just like, well, I'm going to get rid of my 2 best friends and become a female and just go beat the shit out of women. Okay. He also said that this person was 32 years old and transitioned from a man to a woman and didn't tell anybody. Which I think his titles, all those wins, should have just been chalked up as nope, because you went in there with no integrity and you beat the crap out of women when you out muscled them, outpowered them, and probably had better physical conditioning, which I just said I was on the fence on that, because I do think here's how the human body works. Right? If you are a smoker or a drinker, if you put toxins into your body that stay into your body, people who smoke cigarettes will tell you, it's hard to keep your wind when you're smoking. When you're clogging your lungs up with that shit, you're not doing yourself any favors. It's the same thing like with steroids. Eventually, they will take their toll on your body. Everything that is not naturally in your body, and that includes natural toxins, it will fuck you up. And I'm sorry for swearing, but it will fuck you up. If you are a smoker, your lungs get corroded. You're not able to hold your air properly. You're not ready to breathe properly. So I'm not going to say that they weren't as in great shape as him, but generally speaking, if his lungs are bigger, he has more air. He ain't going to get gassed as fast as she. However, I'm on the fence of that because some women don't have to have big bodies and can go. I'm a little guy. Simple body mechanics, all right? This is why you have weight classes in fights. For real. This is why you have weight classes in fights, all right? I weigh like $120, if that. I don't have that much body mass to move around, all right? Which is why I can go longer than most people. Most people who are over the 125, 130 mark, they can get winded really, really quickly within 15 minutes, depending on their sport. Do not say anything bad about that, because it is the truth. I wrestle with guys bigger than me, and they can give me 10 minutes max. They can give me 10 minutes, and I can still go for another 25, 30 minutes, and they're like, "You're just too small, man. You're just too windy. We can't keep up." And I'm like, "Well, dude, it's not because I'm too small. It's just that you have more muscle mass to move around, and if you're not adapted to that, you will never beat a person as small as me, because I know how my body works. Most people don't know how their body works. So a transgender male who is bigger than me and stronger than me versus a woman who's my size, if she's not a smoker and he's not a smoker, he's going to win because he's in healthier shape. And then you have to remember that women have more issues with their weight fluctuating during their cycle and stuff. This fucker's never had that. So he doesn't have to worry about time of the month issues. He doesn't have to worry about water weight retention. He doesn't have to worry about eating less lean stuff, because a healthier woman that's in the sports will probably eat a lot of lean meat and maybe more vegetables than a man, where a man's gonna try to eat shit that's gonna bulk him up. And most women who are in sports, they're gonna watch what they eat a lot more than most men, because men want to bulk up, women want to slim down. And if two women are of equal size and stature, like if you put Chris Cyborg and possibly my girl Rhea Ripley in the match, it's going to be somewhat of a fair fight. I'm going by height. I think they're about the same. I think Cyborg might be taller than Rhea Ripley. I'm not going to swear to that because I don't know really how tall Rhea Ripley is, but I know Chris Cyborg is like between 5'7", 5'6", 5'7", somewhere in there. And Cyborg's a dangerous motherfucker. But, she's also choked out a fucking grown man. I can't say that about Rhea Ripley, but I can damn sure say that about Chris Cyborg. She done fucked up some dudes, So, in that aspect, if they had a cross-counter promotion where men could fight women, I would hate to be the man going up against Chris Cyborg. Because first he's going to underestimate her because she's a chick, and then he's going to find out, she gets you in that rear neck and choke. Your shit's done, dude. Now, the question is, would she be able to take a man who actually has a chance fighting against her? That's a different horse of another color. The question is, would that man be willing to throw that punch at Chris Cyborg? And I know Chris Cyborg probably can take it, but at the same time, you kind of, as a man, you don't really want to be that guy that got into the ring with the chick. You don't want to be Andy Kaufman, because the only persons that you can beat were girls. You don't want to be that guy. But, when it comes down to this shit, I'm going to have to make a third video because we're at the 15-minute mark. But when it comes down to that technicality of man versus woman, in the battle of the sexes, if sex is just involved, women will win hands down. All right? Because they don't have to work that hard to find someone to have sex with. Well, men, on the other hand, we have to die trying to get someone to give us a second look. So I'll go into the third video about this because I got a little bit off track, but I'll make a third video and you guys enjoy.